This is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym. Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. In this profile, you're going to see the fittest man in the world from 2015, CrossFit's Ben Smith. Ben Smith lives out in the middle of nowhere. He lives out in Virginia, which is pretty much the other side of the world for me out here in Sacramento, California. So I sent my brother, Moneymaker Mike and Silent Mike, out there to get photographs, some video, and for Silent Mike to do some lifting with Ben Smith. And what I've seen from this footage so far is an outstanding young athlete who's hungry to want to get better. I also see an awesome family that comes around each other and supports each other in everything that they do. I grew up in a very similar environment where things were competitive. Everybody was hungry to beat each other on everything. Everybody was literally hungry as well, fighting for food and fighting for everything, every little bit that we could. Even involving some wrestling matches, putting each other some figure four leg locks, Boston crabs, and camel clutches and stuff like that. I'm sure that Ben Smith's family is very similar. Seems to be very competitive with his brothers. I like the fact that their dad wouldn't let them get one over on them. When the kids were young and growing up, he'd play soccer with them or basketball with them, and he'd whoop their ass and teach them some humility. And it's always good to understand that you're not always going to be the best one out there, but you should always try your best and always strive to get better. And that's what I like a lot about Ben Smith and what I like a lot about the CrossFit community in general. The CrossFit community has been getting bashed and been getting hammered on the internet for a long time, and especially from my own YouTube fans. And what I want you guys to start to think about a little bit more, I want you to do something that you may not have done before. Try to use this thing right here, the stuff between your ears. Try to use your brain a little bit more and understand what CrossFit has provided. CrossFit, in some ways, provides this YouTube channel to be free because I sell stuff through Rogue Fitness. I have deals with companies like Reebok. Without Reebok, without Rogue, without some of these big companies starting to put their eyeballs in on this tiny little sport, it was a tiny little sport, and now it's growing and growing and growing. But without those big companies looking at us, our powerlifting will never grow to where it should be and to where it could be. It's an awesome sport. We all love it. We all appreciate it for what it's worth. We love seeing people lift some big weights. We love seeing people get better. And if you just look at it this way, the CrossFit community is doing a lot of the same things. They're just trying to get better. And when somebody comes on and teaches some good form, Katie Hogan and some of these other athletes that I'm really good friends with, and these people get bashed, people are like, oh, there's no form in CrossFit. All I gotta say is try a CrossFit workout. Try to stop speaking upon things that you know nothing about. Think about if a CrossFitter came on somebody's channel, think if they came on my channel and criticized my lifts, how bad you guys would wanna rip that person's head off. It's very similar for me to see it because I'm not around bad CrossFitters. I'm around fucking awesome CrossFitters. I'm around some of the best guys in the world. I'm around people that really want to get hungry, people that own their own business, they own their own CrossFit box, and they want to get better. So I'm sure, just like in powerlifting, there's some shitty powerlifters out there. You guys know who I'm talking about. And there's some shitty powerlifting coaches out there as well. And there's just some shitty people around in general, some shitty, hateful people. And I would like to see, I know this is a rah-rah speech right here, but I would like to see us flip things around and be a little bit more positive. Ben Smith is an awesome athlete. He's going to continue to be an awesome athlete. 76 pull-ups in a row when he's a kid. I think right now he's like 23, 24 years old. He's been to the CrossFit Games the last, I think, 7 years in a row or something like that. Phenomenal athlete. CrossFitters are athletes. Powerlifters are athletes. Bodybuilders are athletes. Just because they're not dunking a basketball does not mean that they're not an athlete. Very passionate about what they're doing. They want to get better just like the rest of us, so let's all be positive. Let's all work on making the world a better place to lift. That is it from Super Training Gym, and enjoy the video.
started lifting weights like a lot of kids at like age 12, 13, I guess. My dad had like a weight set in the basement. We would work out, and I worked out in the weight room for football when I played football back then, and really just loved doing it to train to be better at sports. So, you know, like most kids, kind of bigger, stronger, faster for baseball, football.
They've been in sports since the beginning. Each one of them, we told them when they were young, pick something, we don't care what it is, but pick the sport you like to do and do your best at it.
Growing up, I pretty much got into whatever they were doing because I loved just competing with them at whatever I did. No matter what I did, I didn't really compete with the kids my age. I tried to compete with my family and older brothers.
Yeah, they all started about when they were 3 in gymnastics. Yeah. You know, starting about this big, that's the guy that wanted to beat them in everything.
He never let me win anything.
That's true.
I remember I was like 4 years old, we played a game of soccer and he destroyed me, and he was like 14-0. He never got me.
We had to learn humility somehow.
My dad had a friend that was doing CrossFit at the time, following the workouts, and he kind of showed him what the CrossFit.com website was all about, and they would post a workout every day, and you do it in your garage or with your friends outside in your backyard or wherever, because there weren't gyms back then. And kind of just took it from there and learned everything I know online and through CrossFit.com.
Each day we'll wake up, we'll come here about 10 a.m., we'll all train together, normally do a partner workout or a longer type workout, and then in the afternoons we'll come back and lift. Sometimes we'll train at Ben's house with his friends at 6 or 7 at night, so usually it's about 2 to 3 training sessions a day. With kind of just like eating and resting in between.
Like a long time ago, I always asked him, I was like, yeah, I can work out with you. So I come to the gym, I work out with him, I go home, work out with him, and then I go back home and I go to his house the next day and he has like 5 workouts written up on the board that he did after we left the house. So he's always trying to do more than us.
I was healthy this year, so I mean, this was the first year since 2009 that I went into a games and I was actually healthy, like 100%. Felt great, ready to compete, like didn't have something on my mind, like a sprained ankle or a pulled muscle or something, like a tendonitis in my knee, that kind of thing.
It's the perfect, you know, it's the Norman Rockwell story of the quiet, humble, you know, unassuming kid who just works hard, did everything online. He would go through the Olympic lifters, put them side by side with American lifters, and then put himself on the other screen and kind of watch frame by frame, and that's how he taught himself.
First CrossFit Games I went to in 2009, I just went for fun. Like, I really just went, like, I wanted to see what I could do. You know, I had watched the games in 2007, 2008, and I was like, this is cool, let's go try it. I got crushed, like the first day. I remember I don't think I'd ever been that sore in my entire life. And to this day, I think it was like the worst feeling that I've ever had. Like, I had trouble just walking around the place.
Well, he got to the games his first year trying. I've already had 3 chances, so I can't say that.
Just seeing what that did to me, it was like kind of completely changed my mindset. Went back next year, and I finished 8th, and then I was like, okay, I think I got a shot at this.
What is this, exercising?
Fittest man in the world. Woo! Holding his glutes up.
You got any tips for us?
No?
No, nothing?
Nothing.
He's got nothing. He's not gonna give away any of his secrets.
Where'd you learn squat? The YouTubes?
The YouTubes, yes, the YouTubes.
I was able to go with him to his first CrossFit games in 2009. You know, it's just special to see where he's come from since then. So, to get to hang out with him, you got to work out with him. So
yeah, that'll be it for today. Time to eat some pizza.